الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنة يوم الدين. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings be on His last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and on all those who follow the path of righteousness until the last day. This evening's topic is the way of the Prophet, okay, or the way is only one. The way of the Prophet, or the way is only one. Meaning that the prophetic way is only one way. That there is only one way to Allah, to God. For us to achieve or to receive the blessings which Islam has to offer, we can only achieve those blessings following one single path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Ma'idah has stressed the importance of following the way, that single way, the way which He refers to as the way of the party of Allah, saying, وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَإِنَّ حِزْبَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. And whoever takes Allah and His Messenger and the believers as supporters, then indeed the party of Allah will be victorious. Indeed, the party of Allah, they are the victorious ones. And no matter how much we research in the Quran and the Sunnah, we will not find any praise for division. Not in the authentic Sunnah. We will not find any praise for division. In fact, wherever we find division described, it is described in negative terms. Either Allah curses those people who fall into division, splitting up their ranks, as in Surah Ar-Rum, 30th chapter, verses 31 and 32. وَلَا تَكُونُوا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ فَرَّقُوا دِينَهُمْ وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا كُلُّ حِزْبٍ بِمَا لَدَيْهِمْ فَرِحُونَ. And do not be of the pagans, of those who split up their religion and became sects, each sect rejoicing in that which it has. This is blameworthy. This is speaking ill of division and splitting of ranks. And we find Allah speaking about this splitting leading to weakness and failure, saying in Surah Al-Anfal, the 8th chapter, verse 46, وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ. Do not dispute among yourselves and cause your own failure and loss of power. The Prophet ﷺ had said in a hadith narrated by Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, indeed those before you from the people of the book divided into 72 sects, and the followers of this religion will split up into 73 sects. 72 of them will be in the fire and 1 in paradise. Is this praise of division? No. This is implying that division, the process of dividing, the love of sectarianism, factionalism, all of this is despised in Islam. However, there are some common hadiths which are quoted in defense of splitting up different groups. People following different movements, etc., and each one taking its own path. There are hadiths quoted. Among them, اختلاف أمتي رحمة. The differences among my nation is a mercy. It's commonly quoted in this regard. However, this quote-unquote hadith is mawdu'. Mawdu' meaning it is fabricated. For those of you that attended this past week's course in hadith, usul al-hadith or ulum al-hadith, you know what mawdu' is. Fabricated. Cannot be relied upon. It's a lie falsely attributed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another lie is ashabi kan nujum bi ayyihim iqtadaytum ihtadaytum. My sahaba or my companions are like stars. You will be guided by any one of them that you follow. This is again promoting the idea that if you follow one of them, as long as you're following one, no matter if one goes this way, one goes the other way, you're rightly guided. So it is something praiseworthy. But in fact, this division, this splitting up, is something condemned, not praiseworthy at all. What we find in the Quran is a statement which Allah has the Prophet ﷺ say, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ. Indeed, this path of mine is a straight path, so follow it. And on one occasion, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said that Allah's Messenger drew a line for us in the ground, on the dirt. And he said, this straight line which he drew, this is the path of Allah. Then he drew lines going off on either side, like the way the veins of a leaf branch away from the central vein. And he said, these are the paths. On the head of each path is a devil calling people to it. Then he recited that same verse, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ. And this is my straight path, so follow it. And do not follow the other paths, as they would separate you from His path, from the path of Allah. Right. In this particular verse from the Quran, we notice that when the Prophet ﷺ is made to speak about his path, the term used is sirati mustaqiman, sirati, sirat, my path, a single path. But when he speaks about the paths of the others, he uses as-subul, the paths, the other paths. Whenever Allah speaks of the way of the Prophet ﷺ, it's described as a single path. Whereas the path of this misguidance is described as a path having many branches in it, many different paths. So this stresses the concept that there is only one way. And Ibn al-Qayyim had said, this is because the path leading to Allah is only one. And it is what He sent His messengers and sent His books with. And no one reaches Him except with this path.